and welcome back to Youthology on AUK Radio, brought to you by Attentive Social Enterprise and Power Youth Action. We are your hosts, Manur
and Sarah,
and today joining us is Olade, founder of Careers You Love and Devlopwise CiC. So thank you for joining us, and if you would like to give an introduction about yourself.
Okay, yes, I'm Oladele, and yes, I'm the founder of Careers You Love, but then I'm the co-founder of Devlopwise CiC. So, and Careers You Love is basically, what it says, just helping people to find, the career they will love. And Devlopwise CiC is a community interest company, and what Devlopwise CiC is all about is helping bringing rest, in all areas of well-being, especially in the deprived community. And then when we talk about rest, we are talking about raising aspirations, empowering, supporting, and bringing transformation in all areas of well-being, like mentally, relationally, physically, financially, socially, because all of it works together. So, and the other founders are Timothy Mason and then Simon Mitchell. So, which are very good friends of mine.
Yeah, that seems like a really fulfilling job.
He is, yeah, it's really fulfilling, like making a difference in, in the community and in people's life,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, Oladeli, you help unemployed individuals find fulfilling careers. What are some of the biggest challenges they face in securing jobs they enjoy?
The biggest challenges they face in securing jobs they enjoy, I think, is the fact, they might have to go outside their comfort zone, because a lot of times it involves learning, new skills. Some guys are like, basically, for an example, you might want, your career might be in creative industry, like musically or, poetry or whatever. But the reality about it is that business part of it, you have to learn some of it. You might not have to do it.
Yeah.
So it's about, I think it's about, going out of their, comfort zone. And sometimes you might have to do what you don't like before you get to do what you like. And that involves going out of your comfort zone, involves sometimes, hard work as well.
Yeah.
Really hard work, especially if you have a lot of barriers,
Yeah, that makes sense. I sometimes struggle to get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to someone who's struggling to get out of their comfort zone?
I think you have to look at the bigger vision, I think it has a lot to do with vision, because work, either way, life is work, the work is involved either way. You do the work now or you don't do it, So, for an example, if you look down the line and your decision not to go out of your comfort zone is going to mean that, that you are going to be in a bad place, your family is going to be in a bad place. The question is now, is you not going out of your comfort zone, is that really worth it, It's like, it's not. And that in itself will push you to, do what you have to do. Either way, that work is gonna get done.
Yeah.
It just, and what's interesting as well, generally, when you do the work now, you reap a bigger benefit later, so, but if you don't do the work now, the work is harder later.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it just kind of, it's the vision, you see, it's the vision. When somebody has a vision, then they find the work easier to do. And that's what my initial workshop, that support people to find the right careers for them. That's what that workshop is about, really. It's about getting them to have a vision, finding out that thing that really will get them to take, that, I really want this,
Yeah.
because once somebody have that, they will do the work that they need to do. That I really want this, they will do the work, they need to do. Actually, it reminds me, this a boxer called Riddick Bowe, very talented boxer, And but they said he never just does the work. He will never do whatever in the gym. They say whatever they need to say to him. He will never do whatever needs to be done. But then a fight came up against a very good boxer, Evander Holyfield, and nobody needed to encourage him, to do the training. He train harder, because there's a vision, something that he wants. So yeah, it's about finding out what they want, let them have that vision. When they have a vision, then generally they will do whatever work they need to do.
Wow.
So it's about setting a goal.
Yeah, but a goal that they want,
Yeah.
and that's what can happen sometimes, isn't it? Like particularly with people is trying to inspire young people. What they tend to do is they give them a goal, and that in itself is not bad. But if you just give the person a goal, like it's a goal. But if that goal is linked to something they are passionate about, something they want, then it makes all the difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. So I also hear that Careers You Love also supports young people, especially students, at risk of exclusion. How does career guidance help prevent them from making harmful choices?
I think career guidance, in itself, how it prevents them is giving them a positive, how you could call it positive vision, or giving them a alternative, because if somebody always sees like, oh, the only way I can actually really make money is crime, then like, well, they need money,
Yeah. So you're basically just helping them expand their horizons.
Yeah, like raising their aspiration.
Yeah.
Showing them something else, that they can get into and get the result they're after. They're after money. Fine, money is not a bad thing, but you can get money, in positive ways if you put the work into it, and you can enjoy your money because you don't end up in prison. So it's about that. Even for an example, like a good friend of mine works for youth offenders, and youth partnership. It's not, yeah. So one thing he said was, with a lot of the young people they work with, it's like because of that fact that there's no alternative, they need that money now, and there's no alternative. They're not getting given an option they could use to make good money now. So why should they leave whatever they have? So, and that's one of the things we are actually exploring, like how we can put together, like a facility that will help young people to make, good money now,
Yeah.
and then also set themselves up for the future.
I think that lots of people in exclusion, they feel like they've got no other options, especially like teachers. They're not always the most supportive, so they might just be like, there's not much you can do at this point.
Yeah.
But it's good that people like you, they're here to like help and support them. I think that's very important. What do you think, Manor?
Yeah, I think when I've been in spaces where there's mainly exclusion students, so a lot of the times the teachers have given up already on them. And so they feel like they don't have that support anyways, and they don't have those alternative routes. So I think it's already harder for them to kind of stay out of like crime.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's very true, because the reality about it is like the most creative people tend to do it not because, that's their vision or their passion, or some of them anyway. They do it out of necessity, Like, okay, they went to school did not work for them. Okay, I have to set up my own business now. Because, and then they end up employing people that have degrees and masters, because the school system, maybe it wasn't really for them, So part of it is for them and part of it is not, And even I know a story of a entrepreneur that was employed and he kept losing his job. He kept losing it, and part of it was even because I think it was dyslexic, a little bit autistic, and
Dyslexia?
I think so, yeah. And that's part of the reason why, he was not doing well at work, I can imagine that some of the guys would have been like, this guy, is not smart or anything like that. But then when he went to set up, his own organization, he was making millions, employing people, because he created his own system,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like, and by creating his own system, was able to work the way we like to work and was very productive. And I'm sure other people that select, have autism, like him, he created a system that will work for them now. So, yeah, I think, the fact that somebody gets excluded doesn't necessarily mean that, they are bad. It could just be that the system is not working for them.
Yeah.
And I know there are provisions now as well. I think maybe provisions now, something like I've read about ACE that support, young people that are excluded, and part of what they encourage is them trying out entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
trying out businesses. And from another a lady that I know that kind of work in that environment, she said a lot of them actually make really good business people.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because clearly, maybe they don't feel like following rules is for them, so why not make their own rules? That's one thing.
Very true. Yeah, I can feel some inspiration happening there.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So, alongside your career coaching work, Devlopwise CiC tackles youth violence and knife crime. So, can you tell us more about this and what led you to focus on this issue?
I think actually that's interesting, like, I came about was very interesting. Like, I went on a coaching course, and when I did the coaching course, it's not coaching like in football coaching. Like, basically what coaching is, the type of coaching I'm talking about, what it's about is helping people to get insight, because wherever area where you are not seeing progress, you are struggling, a lot of times it has to do with insight. So from doing that coaching course, I found that, oh wow, this is actually brilliant. It's very helpful. People can get insight. And from there, I had the opportunity to do a focus group, community focus group. From that community focus group, which we ran in Bedford and in Luton, we explore community solutions into knife crime. That's one of the things we explored. And then, like, there was some insight that came out of that. For an example, people reporting people that they know carrying knives, making it easier. That if you know somebody carrying knife, that you can report it anonymously. So, and also parents, because some parents know what their young people are doing. But even though your young person is carrying a knife and it can end up in prison, you don't want to report them really.
Yeah.
Maybe addressing that part of it, that if you report, your young person, it might not maybe get as big a sentence and will get the support he needs. That might encourage some of the parents to do that. So from that's how we kind of go into, helping the community when it comes to the crime,
Yeah.
So when the opportunity kind of came to do something about knife crime, like we had experience, in that situation. So we are like, actually, let's really explore this, and yeah, actually, a lot of a lot of people in the background in the room, were involved with the community focus group, so they know what I'm talking about. Yeah, can I mention names? No, okay, yeah, I've been told that I cannot mention names. Okay, so they were involved in that as well. So yeah, so that's, and then when we look at the opportunity to run a podcast that will help young people to get like insight from people that have lived experience, that seemed like something that could really, really work. So yeah, I went for it, and then yeah, we are being supported by BLCF, funded by BLCF to kind of run the project, and then also actually, like we are working with AUK Radio. So, that, that's very good. Working with some community groups, working with Nigerian Bedfordshire community, Luton and Dunstable Kenyan community. We're working with Armenia. It's a center in Abu side. So, yeah, it's a kind of, bringing the community in so that we can see a difference,
Have you seen any big effect so far since Devlopwise CiC was founded?
Any big effect?
Yeah.
I would say we have one of the areas that we have seen that is a number of the guys that we were working with career-wise, seeing them actually getting jobs and becoming stable career-wise. So we have seen like impact happen in those areas, and then also inspiring young people. Like one of the first workshop we did was helping a young person to kind of discover their passion and then do something around their passion, and to see the young person kind of moving up now, so we have seen a difference from what we have done, and also the community focus group, the insight we gain, we forward that to our funder, which was the police commissioner office, and then when we forward that to them, almost like from some of the insight we gained, we see project came out of them.
Oh wow, so that's very successful.
Yes, yeah. It's like when you are doing something passionate, you are passionate about, and something that you believe in, and what we are aiming for is needed,
Yeah.
So that drives us on as well. That give us energy, because we know it's needed, and
yeah, you can see the impact already, can't you?
Yes.
Yes. And it sounds so rewarding as well, being able to help someone like that to get a career.
Yeah, definitely. It's rewarding to do that, and then also like like with the knife crime podcast, and then it's called Insightful Voices, by the way. So and then we are gonna have creative sessions afterwards, around poetry and then music. So it's for all young people in Luton, but we are prioritizing Farley, Northwell, and Leagrave wards. So like we believe that's gonna have a big impact, because insight makes a big difference. Like the young people being there, we want them to gain insight into how people get involved, in knife crime. Nobody just wake up that morning and say, I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to stab somebody today. Nobody takes a process, you see.
Yeah, it does.
So by speaking to people that have lived experience, we are able to, and then the coach is going to be there. So the aim of the coach is to get insight. So look at the situation from angles that have not been really looked at before, which will give the young people insight. And what we are aiming for is for them to vocalize that insight. This is what I got from here. This is what I saw that I did not see before, or became bigger, and what that can become is like a barrier. So that when they are going down that route of I want to carry a knife, they can be like, ooh. It kind of, because that information is there. And then also we want to encourage as well, let young people that are involved in, carrying knives already, who can support them, who can help them. If you are carrying knife already, go and speak to these people. They might be able to help you. They might give you different options. So we have big expectations from the Insightful Voices project, and actually we are aiming to carry that on, so that we can continue to support young people to vocalize what they are passionate about, vocalize, their concern in a creative way, So, so kind of if anybody is listening today, and you can support us, in doing that, because we are looking for funding to do that, then we'll be grateful. You can contact us on info@devlopwisecic.co.org, sorry, not .co. info@devlopwisecic.org.uk.
Yeah, I think what you guys are doing are great, because I think finding the root cause is a big big deal because as soon as you find what's causing the problems, you
Yes.
can, obviously tackle the problems. And I think that's exactly what you guys are doing. And I can see that you're already making changes, and I think it's great. And I think how you're going through it with art, art and poetry, I think
Yes.
it's really good because it really gives people an opportunity to express themselves in like
Okay.
a fun way. So I think it's good.
Oh, that's nice. I'm guessing you are artistic yourself.
Well, personally, I'm not very artistic,
Okay.
but I appreciate art.
You appreciate art,
I appreciate art. Yeah. I know Mano's artistic.
Okay.
In many of the attentive events, I've made paintings and things like
Yeah,
Oh,
she's really
nice.
great.
that. Thank you.
That's nice. That's really nice. Yeah. So maybe you can have an exhibition one day, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
I find that creativity in art is a great way to express yourself. And every time when I get someone else involved, I think that it's a great way for them to de-stress. So I think it's really great that you're utilizing that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like art is amazing, and it actually helps with learning as well, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like I remember. I know the rivers of Africa because of a song. You have to remember the rivers of Africa is a song, and even the days in the year. Because when we were growing up, they use songs to teach us some aspect of our learning. But the ones that the song were catchy, I still remember them today.
Oh, wow.
And if I need to remember them, I just sing the song because I always remember.
Yeah, that's
I always
effective
remember
way.
the song. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. And the creative industry, I think there's a lot of encouragement as well for people in the creative industry. At the moment, like I believe there is something getting put on by. I forgot the name of the organization now. They are linked to.
Link to change?
Not linked to change, but they are linked to the arts factory. So I cannot remember their name now.
Okay.
But if you email us, if you are a creative person and you are looking for support, music, art, poetry, but you are looking for support to establish that as a business, you have already started, just email, info@Devlopwise, cic.org.uk. I can always, link them to the organizers.
I might drop an email.
Okay, that'll be good. Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah. Okay, so what role does unemployment or lack of opportunities play in pushing young people towards gangs or violence?
It comes down to money, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
like almost like when people are talking about well-being, it seems like sometimes they can be ashamed to talk about money. But more and more, like a lot of issues is getting linked to poverty, mental health,
Yeah.
And sometimes, like when you just see somebody, sometimes they just get a job, the difference, that make to people. So, so finances does matter, career does matter, because career, it gives you the resources, you need to back up your dreams, to, to find, your vision, to back up your vision. And especially people that have strong visions, if they don't have anything that they will always go for whatever gives them, like, okay, I can make this happen,
Yeah.
So if, like somebody has a vision of really looking after, their parent, and they cannot do that by getting a job, and they're not able to get a job. And somebody come to them and tell them, you know what, you do this, you will get, that's offering, like relief, So
Yeah.
like somebody that's very hungry, any food you give them, it tastes sweet, So, so basically, like educational prospect, like good career prospect, it will make a big difference, in encouraging people not to go down the route of crime. Even for an example, that's why we are really trying to push out future safe industry, exposing young people in our community to them. And at the moment, we have an opportunity to facilitate a robotic workshop in a primary school in Luton.
Oh wow, that sounds very interesting.
And that's what I'm talking about. When you say robotic workshop, like the young people,
Yeah.
and you open them up to, something like, something they're into, something, like they never thought they could do, So now touching a robot, doing this, I can actually do this. You're creating a vision, you're creating a passion. And then once you do that, then, some of them even, you don't need to do anything else to support them. They'll find a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
Passion does that. Passion is like a fire, you see. Like if fire, if fire is there, just continue, So when you have passion, you find a way to make it happen. Barriers doesn't bother you anymore. Even you don't really see barriers sometimes. A lot of some of the things, that I have done, it's later on when I talk to people about it, I realized that it was unreasonable. They're like, how did you do that? And I'm like, yeah, that's a point. Because I did not think it was unreasonable. I just thought, I really want to make this happen. And whatever I need to do to make it happen, I'll find a way,
Yeah.
But other people, because, when you have passion, you have a strong vision, barrier is not an issue. You wake up every day, it's like, what am I going to do to make it happen today? You hit a barrier, wake up tomorrow, what else can I do? What else can I do? And passion is passion, vision. They are really, really, they will get the job done. You can give as much information as you want. If there's no passion, there's no vision. Yeah, but passion and vision will find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're introducing something fun and interesting to young people.
Yes.
Like how you said that the robotics is going to a primary school. I think it's really going to be beneficial to the kids because I've got a younger brother. He's in primary school.
Okay.
And if I give him something to do, he's just going to he's going to love it. And I think that, giving something to young people that they'll be passionate about, it's going to just, set them up for the future.
Definitely. And that's like, we run a Python coding session as well in the community. And the way the Python coding session was set up is you learn Python coding, but you move items about in a game to make the game work, and it shows you the coding.
Oh, that sounds really fun. Like a really interactive game.
Very interactive, and also like, games, the young guys, a lot of young guys are into games. So it's almost like it's game, but they're learning what is in the background, which is the coding. And, coding is a very, very, future safe industry. A lot of what we do now, there's coding behind them. So that's something else that, we are planning to kind of run for, young people in Luton, in schools, people like young people in secondary school and college, they can actually take part, in the coding. It's a online it's set up online, so they can go online and then basically, work on it themselves. So if you're a young person or you are, any age actually, any age, you can, if you email us on the email address again, info@devlopwise.cic.org.uk, we can set you up, to learn Python coding online, and it's free.
Yeah, it's really good.
That sounds really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So you mentioned that passion and vision is a really good motivator. So what would you do if someone was struggling to build a vision or struggling to find their passion?
Just encourage them to, try, just try something. Normally there's something they want to try, but if there's nothing they want to try, just give them something to try. And then if, for example, they do this and you see they're not really feeling it, encourage them to do something else. Like when you are when we work with a young person, we try to work with their passion. The balance has to be brought into it. Sometimes sometimes you have to do what you don't really feel like doing, to get to where you want to get to. But you tend to work with the young person passion. So even before we set up Devlopwise CiC Careers You Love, I used to be a mentor for a young person, at a greenhouse, and that's what it was all right. It was into music, so all was like, how can you, get him into music, support the young person to get into music, because there's a saying that direction come to a moving vessel.
Oh,
Good. Yeah. So when people see that, this is that one direction, a lot of times it doesn't come. But when you get them moving, they try this, they try that, and I like that, Okay, do a bit, I like that. I like that. Before you know it, like they're doing it and they're excelling, Even I've heard about people say people that they thought, what for it, were kind of mentally could not do anything. That's what they thought about them, But they got them involved in like kind of running a projector for the organization. And next thing, the guy was doing what they were shocked,
wow.
Because he got into something that, okay, I can do this. And particularly try to get them to be a little bit successful as well, something that they can do and they can do well, It might be very little, because that helps us say, I do this, I can do that. They do it again, I can do that.
Yes, basically like building up their ego.
Confidence, it's not confidence. Now, fun enough, when I, because at the moment we are planning to work with some secondary school in Luton and, college as well. And that's one thing they said about most of the young people. Confidence tend to be a big thing, with young people. And sometimes, you do get, grown-ups as well that can deflate young people, confidence, like because they have something they want them to do already, or those young people have vision that is big, that seem crazy. It's like, and they just deflate it, It's like, that tend to really upset me when I see that happen, because you don't know the capability of that young person, you don't know it. So if they say, they have a big vision, they have something that seems unreasonable, let them go for it, let them try. Until they try it, you don't know if they cannot make it happen.
Yeah.
You might have to bring a bit of balance again. That look, you have a big vision, but you need to pay your bills, you need to pay bills in the future, you need to do this, But don't quench, visions, like, that's it. You get them moving, you see. You get them moving. And
Yeah.
I agree. I think just helping, boost someone's confidence will just set them in the right direction.
Yeah. Confidence matters, it does matter.
How important is collaboration between organizations, schools, and local authorities in tackling youth violence?
It's a community, it's a community, it has to, like, sometimes, okay, let me back up and come at it again. Like sometimes what you can find is that some of the new insight you are going to get is from an area of the community that you have not listened to, Because what happens in system is like people start to think alike. And because they start to think alike, it's more challenging for a new angle to come in, a new insight. But when you now speak to a area of that community that have not been listened to, what you get is fresh insight, which makes whatever you are providing better. So that's why collaboration is it's really important, because every organization will bring something different, and every organization have a different reach, So community organization, they tend to have reach to people in the community. Schools have, they have a captive audience.
Yeah.
So collaboration is definitely, really, really important, in tackling any community problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So that everyone knows this quote, like, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
I think that counts as well for like youth violence, because everyone, like you said, contributes in a different way and just like helps make a well-rounded person.
Oh, definitely. I know that's what my good friend Montel, that's his favorite quote. That's his favorite quote, and it is true. It takes everybody, and to some extent, that's one of the things we realized when we did the Bedfordshire Against Crime Community Project is the need to get more parents actually involved, and maybe from a younger age as well, get more parents involved, actually have parents, have a community that to some extent have a say, in what they want to happen for young people in the community, and maybe even facilitate, what they want to see happen. I think sometimes, schools they can be you can have a go at schools. You are not providing this, you are not providing that, you are not. But then the school have statutory duties that they need to provide. So because of that, that can really be a big pressure on the school for them to do something outside the statutory duties.
Yeah.
So that's where communities can really, come into play, and particularly to some extent, parents, I think parents, can have a big part to play in relation to that.
I agree. So speaking of, what do you think parents should do or carers should do to help prevent young people from getting involved in violence?
What will I say? Okay, maybe we should look at the root of some of the violence, Like I watched a documentary, it was not England, and the dad, found a knife in his son's bag,
Oh.
And the son was quite young,
Yeah.
in relation to that. And obviously, it's not a dad that taught his son to carry knives, because he said, no, son, why are you carrying a knife? And the son was like, because, a lot of other young people in my school are carrying knives, and I need to protect myself, And interestingly enough, a lot of people that end up stabbing people or them getting stabbed themselves, or a good number of the story I've heard, they were not actually carrying the knife to stab anybody. They were carrying it to protect themselves, So once, they start to carry knives, it's like, you increase the chances of you getting stabbed, I know of two stories now, like one I read in the paper, another one I heard from somebody based in Luton, of one of them, one young person based in Luton was carrying knife to protect himself, showed it to another person just to protect himself.
Yeah.
But the other person, end up getting other people and stabbing him.
Yeah.
He will not show a knife if he did not have the knife.
Yeah.
Another one I read in the paper, it was actually the young person used to be a footballer, went to stab another person with a knife. And then the person will take the knife off him and stabbing him.
Oh.
So once you carry a knife, you are putting yourself in a, and also I think from what I've, also, find out, it's like if you carry a knife, it's automatic prison sentence if you carry a knife. So there's no benefit, to some extent, but I can understand why somebody will carry it, especially if it's your life, in the line, then, prison, or dead,
Yeah.
prison must have to look like a good option. So I would say, like, first of all, like, if the organization as well that can help parents, that if parents, report to them, they can help them, especially if they know their young person is carrying a knife or carrying weapons. The organization that can help young people, for an example, Youth on Futures is one of them. I spoke to the person that oversees it, and they said about what they have done for young people, and they come across as a good organization to contact if you're a parent and your young person is carrying weapons or they are carrying knives, and then, so I would say they should look for help, if you're a parent, you know your young person is carrying a weapon, you know, yeah, look for help, you know, in relation to helping the young person. And I think that area need to be really explored, actually. You know, it need to be really explored. How people that know people that carry knives can report it anonymously. And for parents in particular, if they report their child owning a weapon, carrying a weapon, I don't think that child should be sent to prison. You know, I think it should be sent to a different correctional institute where they will receive, you know, a better, you know, support, you know, basically to encourage the parent to do so. You know, an institute that, okay, is there to actually really, really help, you know, that young person, you know, because parents, you know, a lot of parents know, you know, what is happening with their young person, but because of shame and because of, oh, I'm going to report him, they're going to find a knife on him, he's going to end up in prison, you know. So a lot more incentive for parents to report, you know, a young person that they know that is carrying a weapon. That would do, and more support for them as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, it's better to help correct the behavior rather than punishing it.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're nearing the end of the show now. So if people want to learn more about Careers You Love or Devlopwise CiC, how can they contact you?
Yeah, it all starts with info. All of it starts with info. So Devlopwise CiC, it will be info at developwisecic.org.uk. And then you can visit our website as well, www.developwisecic.org.uk. And actually, you know, we do have the podcast, Insightful Voices, you know, that seem to give young people insight, you know, into knife crime that will deter them. On the 14th of April, sorry, 15th of April, 15th of April, and it is at the library theater. So, you know, the library, the top floor, there's a theater that's going to be there, and from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So I'm really encouraging, you know, like if you have a young person, you know, help them to get insight, you know, into it, definitely. If it's not them even carrying the knife, if other young person is going down that line, you know, that will help them to, you know, kind of recognize that and then know what to do, you know, maybe, you know, let a, you know, teacher know, or something. So basically will really help, you know, the young people, you know. So don't look at it that, okay, my young person have been really teaching him very well, he's not going to carry a knife, you know. So like I will encourage as many parents, you know, as many organizations to bring their young people, you know, to the podcast. And then Careers You Love is info@careersyouLove.co.uk. So, you know, like we provide, you know, career coaching and then helping you to find the right careers for you. Also, how to work on your goals, because that's something else that doesn't really get spoken about a lot. It's like, oh, you know, like, you know, because people, you know, particularly in some communities, you know, people can talk, you see. You know, they're like, you know, why are you not doing this, you know? Why are you not doing that, you know? This is what you should be doing. But sometimes what they don't do is they don't show, you know? Like, okay, do this career-wise, but you don't show the person how to do something career-wise, and you don't get them to try out, you know, how to do whatever it is, you know, career-wise. You know, how many of us, you know, have ever been shown a visual of how to work on a goal? Not many people have been shown that. You know, or how many of us have been shown a system that you can use to work on your goal, a practical system that you work on to work on your goals? Not many people have been, and that's why I believe that people that learn, you know, vocally, you know, the system is really support them. But people that learn visually and by actually, you know, doing something, the system doesn't really support them as good. But that's one thing that we incorporate into what we do, you know. Like, we don't only, you know, say it, we show how you can do it, and then we get you to actually try it out. so that the learning really come across.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been Youthology on AUK Radio, brought to you by Attentive Social Enterprise and Power Youth Action. We have been your hosts, Manur,
And Sarah.
and thank you to our guests for joining us.